Welcome back to the Batman 80th Anniversary Batstravaganza, where I review every single Batman movie from 1943 till current and give you my synopsis of it. We are now in the 2000s, technically 2000 even, as I'm giving you my review of Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. This movie was directed by Kurt Gita, or at least I think that's how you pronounce his name, and it starred Will Friedle as the title character, but it also has Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. I'm going to give you the story in a nutshell, the things I liked, the things I didn't, and then whether you should watch this or not. So first and foremost, you have to understand that Batman Beyond does not have Bruce Wayne as Batman. In this case, it's Terry McGinnis, somebody who works for Bruce, but has taken up the mantle now that Bruce has aged. This takes place well into the future, and Bruce is now at an age to where he cannot fight crime, at least physically, but he does assist him back in the Batcave. So with that information that you also have to understand that the Jokers is a gang that exists within this new Gotham City, and they kind of image themselves after the old Joker. But somebody has come to Gotham claiming to be the real deal, and nobody in the Bat family wants to talk about it, especially Bruce. Here is where we find out who has come to Gotham claiming the title of the original Joker and what happens afterward. Around halfway of this movie, you find out exactly what happens to the old Joker and why everybody has raw feelings about it. Once the revelation of what happened to Joker comes out, then you have the new Batman going up against this old Joker and how nobody is safe under his reign of terror. I tried to keep it somewhat vague, but there are some things that I do want to talk about, spoilery type things. And the first thing that I want to talk about is something that I loved, and it is the animation of this. Yes, it's still styled after that Bruce Timm style animation. In fact, he's the one who created Terry McGinnis, but it looks so amazing and smooth, specifically one scene that I'm going to talk about later on. I do enjoy the back and forth that Terry and Bruce have as, Batman and retired Batman. And even though there are some scenes that pretty much are there for padding, why don't you want to talk about the Joker? Or like, what happened? And, he's like, I don't want to talk about it, that sort of thing. When it finally gets revealed, it's something to behold. And then, of course, you have characters that, like the old Batgirl, who is now the commissioner, and then you've got Tim Drake, who plays a very important role in this, but he's not in it very much. There's also the cast of the Joker gang, and I've enjoyed most of them. I wasn't a fan of Bonk, but fortunately, he's not in the movie very much. I do enjoy Dee Dee and Dee Dee, but I think my favorite has to be the Scarecrow looking guy, because he does talk like Christopher Walken. I'm not going crazy. He totally does a Christopher Walken impression.
What we're after is cutting edge. These are the only other places we'd find one.
But by far, my favorite thing about this, aside from the great voice acting, which there is great voice acting in this, and the animation, which is very well done, and the story, which I enjoyed, to a point, the thing that I love is the story about the way that Joker dies. And this happens in the past when Batman is Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake is Robin. And even though I'm not going to tell exactly what happens, even though I've kind of told how it ended, it is some of the best storytelling that we've seen in not just an animated Batman story, but a Batman story altogether. We've seen animated moments where the Joker seems like he has died, but we don't have a body. We don't have a sense of finality. We get that here. And the way that it happens, the way that the story is told is the best. It is the best. In fact, it's so good, I don't even want to talk about it.
I think audiences really can hear the performances that actors give. And when Mark and I are working together, we get things out of each other that is just so spontaneous, and we have so much fun, and we find so many different colors in each other. And the audience picks up on that. You can hear authenticity, and you can hear when it's an honest performance. And he gets the best out of me, and I think I pretty much get the best out of him too. So that's what was so wonderful about that film and about that scene.
Stay tuned for the full interview to be posted later. I want to thank Kevin again for agreeing to do an interview with me. But this movie is not perfect. There are some things that I didn't like, but when I say there are some things, for the most part, they are just minuscule. There are some characters that are very important to the show Batman Beyond, which is what this is based off of, but they barely get a chance to shine, like Terry's mom and Terry's little brother. But the biggest problem that I had, and it's just with one scene where Batman is fighting the Joker gang in a club. The club doesn't feel like it exists in that universe. And just, this is how much I have to nitpick to find something I don't like. The club where they fight looks like it is an insurance person's nightmare, because there are like different levels and there are no like guards and things like that, and it's very spacious. It doesn't feel like it exists in the real world that they're trying to present. The colors and everything were fine, but it's just like that spacious, and it just looked like it wouldn't be any place that would be safe to go to, even if there was no Joker gang there. However, all the nitpicks aside, is this movie worth watching? Yes, this movie is great. This is probably the only movie where we see a Batman that is not Bruce Wayne, but it is recommended watching, even if the ending doesn't feel like it has as much gravity as that middle scene does. That middle scene is worth the price of admission alone. It is one of the greatest moments that Mark Hamill has ever put his voice into, and if you have to watch anything from the animated era, and yes, Mask of the Phantasm is amazing, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is not to be missed. So that's my review of Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to watch that full Kevin Conroy interview. Share this with your friends, and as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.